Hey guys, and welcome yet once again to this really special this special episode where I personally have some of my favorite drummers here, and there's still more, but unfortunately they're in another city. But welcome to the Arc, and today we have Ahad, Kami, and Alfred in the house. A little bit. That's okay. It's okay. You dropped it down. It's fine. Ibtisam तुम्हारा कुछ गिर गया वहाँ पे. Pick it up. But yeah, this is what I like about podcasts and discussion.
Yeah, it's natural.
Yeah, it's not edited. But although unless we go overboard. But yeah, so Ahad is, as you guys all know, he's done the Velo. That is airing right now. He's done Coke Studio, and he's also a member of Strings, and I think one of the main components in Strings. And then we have Kami, who's also done Coke Studio, and who's also done Ali Noor. Yeah. Noori? Who all have you done? And then you've done a bunch of other projects, man.
Mikal Hassan.
Yeah, Mikal Hassan. Yeah.
I've done so many projects. Yeah.
So there you go, and that's
we all have actually.
Yeah. And then we have Alfred, who's originally known from Mizmar.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of recordings and a lot of stuff with Kashan at his studio. He's got a phenomenal setup. And then of the past 3 years?
It's been like almost 5 years that
Wow.
I've been playing for Atif now.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's been so long.
2015.
Yeah,
I remember.
16 starting, yeah.
So that's crazy. So Ahad, why don't you tell us about what you've been up to? Although it's been locked down and. Well, we've seen some phenomenal stuff, and you guys should check out. I'm going to put links in the description below for everybody here. And Alfred and myself just watched some really inspiring stuff
crazy
on
stuff by
on
Thank
Ahad's
you.
channel. So check it out.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it to him now to tell us what else he's been up to.
Okay. So I'll start with जब लॉकडाउन हुआ तो लॉकडाउन हुआ उसके बाद सबकी ब्लास्ट हो गई ऑब्वियसली और कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा था कि क्या करें क्या नहीं करें बाहर क्रिकेट नहीं खेल सकते हैं प्रैक्टिस नहीं कर सकते हैं आप फिर आफ्टर 40 डेज घर पे गुजारने के बाद मैंने बिलाल भाई को कॉल किया कि मैं मर जाऊंगा मुझे स्टूडियो खोल के दो तो उसके बाद फिर उन्होंने बोला कि ठीक है तुम जो है वो 2 घंटे आओ रोज़ और प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हो
But was there a reason? क्योंकि studio is closed, right? So there's nobody there. तो वायरस किसको लगेगा?
हाँ नहीं लेकिन वहाँ पर जो है वो 6-7 लोग काम करते हैं एक साथ
Okay, all right.
That's why.
So that's
और फिर रोड्स भी ब्लॉक थे
that's true. That is true.
तो ये लॉकडाउन के बाद फिर स्टार्ट हुआ फिर मैंने जो मेरा यूजुअल सेटअप है जो काफ़ी ह्यूज है तो उसको मैंने मिनिमाइज़ किया और फिर मैंने देखा कि मैं इस पे बजा सकता हूँ कि नहीं बजा सकता तो किक स्नैर हाई हैट फ्लो टॉम नो रैक टॉम राइड एंड क्रैश और उस पे मैंने जो है वो अपने ऊपर काम करना शुरू किया और 2-3 ट्रैक्स मैंने रिकॉर्ड भी किए
That's what we heard.
हाँ वही है और उसके बाद फिर मैंने अपनी बॉडी के लिए बेंच लिया जो मैं रोज़ उस पे जो है वर्कआउट कर रहा था और बस दैट्स इट अब तक यही चल रहा है प्रैक्टिस जिम और अगले साल मेरी शादी है उसकी तैयारी
Nice. Great.
Shadi sir, shadi.
So Kami, you. Not about shadi, but about what have you been up to?
It's been actually very tough for everyone.
That's
for
true.
everyone. और उसमें मैं बिल्कुल एक चीज़ स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड बोलूँगा कि फाइनेंशियली मेंटली इमोशनली सबके लिए बहुत मुश्किल वक्त रहा है और हम म्यूजिशियंस ने हम सब ने मिलकर ये कोशिश की है कि एक दूसरे को जो है पुश करें और एक पॉजिटिव
Inspire each other.
हाँ और वो हम करते भी रहे हैं आहद गंभी मी एल्फ्रेड like we were putting up
Bilawal
yeah
Daud Rame और इस दौरान मैंने जो एक चीज़ एक्सपीरियंस की है कि जो रिश्ते हैं, जो रिलेशनशिप, वो बहुत मैटर करते हैं. आपके आसपास के जो दोस्त हैं,
That's true, man.
और वही आपको जो है एक पॉजिटिविटी और एक एनर्जी अच्छी
बिल्कुल
कॉल करके कि यार कुछ नहीं यार, सब सही हो जाएगा, सब होगा, दो यू नो इट्स नॉट गोइंग एनीवेयर, कोरोना विल स्टे विद अस.
Yeah.
तो मैंने आई वाज मोर फोकस्ड ऑन माय ड्रमिंग ये सारे टाइम के अंदर. और यू नो आई वाज मोर, मुझे अपनी माँ के साथ टाइम स्पेंड करने का मौका मिला, उनके साथ बात करने का, उनकी विजडम मुझे एक्सपीरियंस करने का मौका मिला. और मैंने मुगले फंक पे बहुत काम किया इस दौरान. और आई एम नॉट इनटू ह्यूज ड्रम किट्स, they all know that.
Yeah.
You know, hi-hat, snare, kick drum. So I was just like, you know,
छोटा सामान बड़ा साउंड.
हाँ, yeah. And this is who I am. Yeah. मैंने एक जो सबसे बड़ी चीज़ जो एक्सपीरियंस की और मैंने सीखी, मुझे और टाइम मिला. मैं अक्सर हर किसी की प्रोफाइल खोल के और मैं उसमें घुस जाता हूँ बस. आहद का मैंने इंस्टाग्राम खोला, मैं बोला this is what he's up.
This is what he's doing now. What can I do? But that is true. That is true actually. And trust me, over these past several months, this is actually what most of us have been doing. Just watching YouTube videos and getting inspired and saying that, yaar, chalo, if that guy is doing it, then why don't we do something? It's not a competition, but it's more like Abhi, I was just telling the stuff that I heard of Ahad's. It was really inspiring, man. It's really inspiring to the point that I'm like, wow, I should be doing something like this. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I totally get what you're saying. These few months, सब कुछ slow down भी हुआ है. We got time to spend with our family. We got time to spend with our pets. We got time to spend with our own music, basically. So anyways, coming to Alfred. Alfred, what have you been up to?
यार I think ये जो टाइम रहा है सबसे important टाइम रहा है, क्योंकि मैंने realize किया कि you know you don't really need a fancy or a big studio setup to start recording stuff. I would always be dependent. I mean, I've put a small setup, but it's not like a huge setup या कोई आग निकालने वाला sound तो नहीं बना रहा हूँ मैं, but I've learned a lot of stuff during this time, and I've learned how to record my drums. I've bought a reasonable set of mics, nice sound card.
Yeah, I've been following you on that.
And I'm very active on my YouTube channel now. तो तकरीबन हर हफ्ते में एक वीडियो डाल रहा होता हूँ. Instagram पे मैं हर हफ्ते कोई ना कोई क्लिप डाल रहा होता हूँ. Basically, it's all about putting your music and showing what the skill you have.
Exactly.
So I think that's the most important thing for any musician. So that's about it.
Also, it was a good break, I think, for all of us from, doing the mainstream stuff and just focusing on what we want to do for a change, basically, as drummers, basically.
Also, since the past 5 years, I've been traveling so much. Even you, playing for Aahad, you've been traveling so much. We don't get the time to practice. But these 8-9 months, I've really tried to practice, and सारे मैंने backing tracks जो choose किए थे ना, मैं बजाऊंगा जिन पे, वो मैंने ढूंढ के बजा दिए उन पे, और मज़ीद कर रहा हूँ मैं.
So yeah, guys. So I think one of the main things that most people have asked me, and I would also love to know about you guys, is what have your influences been over the years? I know obviously, bachpan mein I was listening to a lot of terrible pop music, and then till someone introduced me to something good, just to like funk music or jazz music or even rock and roll music. I remember when I was first introduced to Rush, and that completely changed my whole perspective as someone who even listens to music, right? So what were your influences while you guys were growing up, and what are you guys listening to right now? I'm sure everybody who's watching this has seen us at some point in some mainstream act, whether Strings, whether it was Noori or Mikal, or whether it was Atif or it was Rahat. But people are always wanting to know where that performance came from, like what kind of music or what kind of a musician sort of influenced you into getting to where you are right now. So, Aahad?
Okay, so Dream Theater was the first band जिसे मैंने सुना था, और I don't know why उसकी माइक पोर्टनोय की मुझे फील, ड्रम्स की ट्यूनिंग, उसका साउंड मुझे इतना फैसिनेट कर रहा था उस वक्त।
Yeah.
मैंने कहा कि यार और अजीब सी बात ये, फ़नी बात ये है जो सिर्फ मेरी अम्मी को पता है ये बात, कि मैं इतना पागल था उसके पीछे कि मैंने कहा अम्मा मेरा बच्चा होगा ना तो मैं डायरेक्ट उसको दूंगा कि मेरे बच्चे को ट्रेन कर। I swear.
Kidding me,
I
man.
swear.
You know, at some point you almost kind of look like him also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know, I remember I was traveling somewhere and I had a Modern Drummer magazine in my hand.
Yeah.
And the cover page had Mike Portnoy in it. I said, "Abhi, ye to Aahad hai yaar." Literally, man, you kind of look like him.
Yeah.
वो जब आप एक बंदे को
Yeah,
इतना
that
फॉलो
is
करते हो
true.
ना तो
That
वो
is true.
आ जाता है। तो ड्रीम थिएटर था, उसके बाद चेंजेस आती गई, फिर डेव वेकल हुआ, फिर विनी कॉल्यूटर हुआ, फिर स्टीव गैड हुआ, स्टीव स्मिथ हुआ, और अब करंटली जो है वो मैट गार्स का है। ही प्लेस फॉर एनिमल्स एज लीडर्स। और देन माइक मिचेल है,
Oh yeah.
you obviously। और उसके बाद जो है बहुत सारे हैं, तीसरा नहीं बता रहा मैंने यहाँ हाथ रख दिया था, मैं इसलिए नहीं बता रहा क्योंकि बहुत सारे हैं।
That's true. So tell me, I'm very curious. What do you think of the new drummer for
Dream Theater.
Dream Theater?
No.
Did you ever like him as a drummer?
नहीं
Seriously?
नहीं, उसकी टेक्निक, उसकी प्लेइंग तेज़ है, बहुत टेक्निकल है, बट दैट फील इज मिसिंग।
उसकी phrasing नहीं है.
For Dream
I
Theater,
felt
right?
हाँ
For Dream
For Dream
Theater.
Theater.
I felt that the thing with Mike Portnoy was that उसकी phrasing जो थी ना, according to the melody or according to the song,
Was very appropriate.
was
I think.
yeah, it was very sort of, it had that vintage sort of, just I feel that whole Rush thing that kind of
या
kicked it off for
उसकी
me.
उसकी सबसे
Yeah.
बड़ी
Like
इंस्पायर
वो, हाँ, वो बजाता था ना, वो जो नील पर्ट बजाता
Yeah,
था,
yeah.
because वो lyrics भी लिखता था band के
एग्जैक्टली
लिए।
ये माइक पोर्टनॉय पे कर रहा है।
वो लिरिक्स लिखता था
Lyrics
बैंड
लिखता
के लिए,
है।
तो वो लिरिक्स के हिसाब से ना वो अपनी फ्रेजिंग उस हिसाब से भी करता था वो। सो आई फेल्ट दैट with Mike Portnoy, that is something that is missing. This is more like you said, I keep forgetting his name.
Mangini.
Mike Mangini, right? I mean, that guy is freaking a machine, man.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
machine.
He's a machine, na?
Yeah.
Again, like nowadays, like current scenario की बात करूँ तो pocket is really important.
Agreed.
अगर वो प्रोग्रेसिव में हो, अगर वो मेटल में हो, अगर वो
Yeah.
रॉक किसी भी जॉनर में हो, pocket is very important.
Pocket का मतलब ये है भाई, झोल.
झोल,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that swing.
Just in case.
Swing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Slang
what about
for-
you, Kami? What have your
Oh,
influences
my-
been, and what are they right
my,
now?
My journey is like literally very bumpy. It's like zick and zack. I started with AC/DC, and then basically my teacher Aurangzeb Hassan Ali Pirzada, मैं कोई 13 साल की उम्र के पास उनके पास गया, 12-13 साल का, and he was like यार, you know, like as you said, pocket बहुत मैटर करती है. आप बहुत सारे fills बजाएं, बहुत सारी चीज़ें, मगर if the swing is not there, nothing
Yeah,
will
yeah.
work, you know. I started with AC/DC and you know 60s Beatles, Rolling Stones. मैंने पूरा जो era से लेकर आया 60s, 50s, Chuck Berry, all those guys, मैं उनको learn करता हुआ आया. और फिर उसके बाद मैंने बेसिकली अपना एक मेरा जो एक्सप्रेशन था मैंने एक्सप्लोर किया उसको कि यार सही है, मैंने ये कर लिया है, अब मैं क्या हूँ, जो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. I was actually more into church music, gospel drummers, और मैं उसको बहुत ज़्यादा करने की कोशिश करता हूँ. मेरे इंस्टाग्राम पे भी नज़र आ रहा होगा, I'm always learning gospel chops and gospel chops and gospel
Aaron
chops.
Spears, basically.
It's all about dynamics basically. They're playing same fills but different dynamics.
Yeah.
Yeah, बिल्कुल.
Right? Aaron Spears, Eric Moore, and Chris Coleman, all these guys, they're amazingly talented and blessed with music, and they're serving God. And yes, in some way, मुझे वो चीज़ बहुत ज़्यादा जो है इन्फ्लुएंस की कि यार ये मुझे ऐसा कुछ करना है. और ड्रमर्स तो सारे ही अच्छे होते हैं.
हाँ सारे अच्छे हैं.
सही बात.
एक जगह पे तो सब म्यूजिक ही है. बात तो म्यूजिक की हो।
हाँ
I think it's a, like I always say, वो एक basically एक conversation होता है।
एक कॉन्वर्सेशन
ऑडियंस को तो नहीं पता है कि क्या मुश्किल क्या आसान
क्या
बज रहा है,
आसान,
लेकिन वो कनेक्ट कर जाता है,
Connect कर जाता है।
कनेक्ट कर जाता है
Yeah,
बेसिकली
yeah,
लोगों को। एंड आई थिंक दैट इज दैट,
Yeah.
वो जो एलिमेंट जो आप एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकते हैं इज व्हाट आई फील इज द सक्सेस फॉर एवरी म्यूजिशियन विद देयर ऑडियंस बेसिकली।
yes, yes.
सो अल्फ्रेड, व्हाट अबाउट यू?
My actually first influence, or actually the first drummer that I saw playing and I picked up the sticks was Phil Collins. मैंने Phil Collins का एक exactly मैंने actually उस गाने से नहीं
That was epic.
yeah मैंने एक drum solo देखा था Phil Collins का with Chester Thompson, a drum duet
Oh yeah, I
live in
remember.
Berlin or something,
Yeah.
and man I was blown away.
Wow.
Obviously इस टाइम बच्चा था और उस टाइम पे ये gospel music और ये सारे gospel chops वगैरह का कोई सीन नहीं था।
हाँ.
So I got really influenced by that drum solo, and I picked up the drums and I started playing and looking for more music, progressive music and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I had a phase where I was listening to stuff like Dave Weckl, Simon Phillips, Dennis Chambers,
Wow, man.
and Vinnie Colaiuta.
Dennis Chambers.
Yeah, Dennis Chambers man, मैं भूल गया था उसका नाम,
Still
उसका नाम भूल
today,
गया था।
my mind is still hooked to that era. And आजकल मैं I listen to Benny Greb, Aaron Spears, Eric Moore.
Yeah.
I actually listen to a lot of diverse music. मैं हर किस्म के ड्रमर को सुनता हूँ क्योंकि मैं हमेशा से चाहता था मैं एक I wanted to be a versatile musician. ताकि
Play everything.
मैंने पॉप भी सुना है, मैंने गॉस्पेल भी सुना है। Metal, I'm not a very very big fan of. Although I really appreciate what metal drummers do, man. It's really
crazy.
intense, and it's everyone can't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to listen to a lot of different stuff.
When you say metal, right? I can't help but
The brothers,
the
Rame brothers. Yeah. Dawood
Those
and
guys are
also.
insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember hearing a track of this for the life of me, I was like, यार ये लाहौर के boys तो नहीं हो सकते. This is not from. I mean, these guys were phenomenal, man. They were so good. And then I had the opportunity to meet. We were doing this thing for Zulfi in Lahore. They had like about 50 drummers there.
Okay.
And there were kids there, and the Rame brothers there. There was Bilawal there. There was Paul Maurice there. There was there's so many people there, and it was great. And I was hearing these guys do their shit. We were like, I mean, imagine 50 drum kits and 50 drummers in one room. It was insane. Yeah. But I kept looking at these two brothers. I mean, it's crazy what they were doing. And then I heard the track where they actually just did. I think they did the album at Umair Daz at A for Aleph, right?
Yeah.
And he played me some of the tracks. It's so good, man. It's so good. It's called Gent.
Gent.
Music?
Yeah.
D-J-E-N-T.
Yeah.
Not G-E-N-T. But yeah, those boys are doing a fantastic job, and like initially what we were discussing, I really appreciate the fact that people like Bilawal and all these guys are actually even putting out music on YouTube, and they're actually doing their own thing. What
they like.
Yeah, the skill that you're seeing from every one of us drummers that are putting stuff out there is basically the stuff that we really aspire to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one side that pays the bills, and then there's the other side that sort of makes you feel. I mean, it enhances your soul.
वो देख के हमें judge ना करें.
Exactly. वो देख के हमें judge ना करें. Also, having said that, my next discussion is basically about how easy or how difficult sometimes it is to adapt to situations, whether it's live or whether it's, we are playing for a project for the internet or for TV. Usually what happens is, and I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys must have gone through this, that you are only limited to the point that you are limited by the imagination of what your producer or what your other fellow musicians are doing. And you don't, sometimes a lot of people would come up to me and be like, Gambi bhai, aapne ye gana us tarah se nahi bajaya jis tarah aapko bajana chahiye tha. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But the thing is that sometimes वही बात है, अगर मेरी अपनी एल्बम होती तो मैं शायद फ़र्क बजाता, जब मेरा अपना प्रोजेक्ट होता मैं फ़र्क बजाता. But if I'm doing a project for somebody else, it's only fair that whatever the person has envisioned is what you do. But then उसका एक डाउन साइड ये होता है कि लोग समझते हैं कि आपकी लिमिटेशन बस
उतनी ही
है. So how do you guys tackle with things like this? You know, I'm sure like when you're playing with Atif, there are certain things that you would want to do but you're not, you can't do it is because that's not what you're.
Yeah, I think the way I go about it is when you're a session player, you're doing sessions. Actually, Pakistan में session player उतना ज़्यादा respected नहीं है मेरे ख्याल से. But
I don't know why.
If you see abroad, session player होना बहुत बड़ी बात है. You know? At one point, when he
Steve Luca था,
I saw
Jeff
him playing
Papa.
with Faith Hill. I mean, that's not the music that he plays. But मेरे ख्याल से जब आप किसी artist के साथ बजा रहे हो तो you should respect what the artist wants because obviously he's hiring you. And मेरा experience ये रहा है कि जब आप you give the artist what he wants, तो फिर एक point पे आके कुछ सालों के बाद वो एक adjustment बन ही जाता है.
That's
you know?
true.
And then you start getting that leeway to kind of show your skills
and
as well.
it kind of gets used to what you do basically.
Because if you go for a recording or a session, you just play whatever you want for someone who's hired you. It's tough. I don't think you'll get a second call from them.
True.
Because जो obviously एक artist का जो जिस तरह वो चल रहा है, वो recordings खुद कर रहा है, अपनी बाकी सारी चीज़ें खुद manage कर रहा है, तो उसको जब वो एक band hire करता है तो वो एक तरीके से उसको जज कर रहा होता है कि या समझ रहा होता है कि मुझे ये साउंड चाहिए. तो आई थिंक इट्स हिज साउंड व्हिच यू हैव टू कंट्रीब्यूट टू, एंड यू शुड डू इट वेरी स्मार्टली, स्पेशली द यंग